Hello everybody. Boy, it's been a long time since I've done anything like this. I'm going to make a little Q&A vlog. Just got home from work. Oh my gosh. So, it's been a long week. Got a 4-day weekend ahead of me, so looking forward to that. Well, anyway, want to answer a few questions that I saw on various social media. And if it seems like I'm not responding much on social media, it's kind of deliberate, and it's not that I'm trying to be antisocial. I've just kind of in every way kind of withdrawn from that whole world. That all kind of came to a head last year near the end of the election cycle, and actually it's just been about a year when I just simply realized how much time I was spending on social media. The election kind of got to me, and it was about this time. It was in October. It's been what a coincidence. It's been exactly a year. A few weeks before the election itself, that I just realized that I was watching news all the time. I was commenting all the time. I was writing blogs about it, and it was at the expense of my real world, so to speak, real world. So I just kind of walked away from it all, and everything, even email. I haven't checked email essentially for months and months and months. The only thing that I really do anymore is I make a couple of videos. I do have my Instagram where I upload, and I upload stuff on Softypapa. I have been doing a lot of other stuff. I've been writing a lot. Tremendous amount of writing. It's been very satisfying in that capacity. And then the best thing, of course, is that I've really reconnected with my wife and daughter in much deeper, more meaningful ways than ever before, especially having them back here with me in the United States and building our lives here. We had to re-find our footing with one another. And taking this hiatus from my online life has really done a lot to help improve that in so many ways, especially with my wife, who I feel like I'm reconnecting with in ways that I hadn't known since we were dating. In some ways, it's really nice to go out together to meals and things, and not feel the impulse to lift my camera up and take a picture or post or tweet or something like that, or check status, but just to really enjoy it with her. Likewise with my daughter. In some ways I think I'm missing out on capturing and recording those elements of our lives, but that cost is well worth the benefit, especially now that our daughter's closing in on starting her own life, and we'll be leaving. My wife and I will be empty nesters before long. And I think we're well on our way to regaining our footing as a couple together here in the autumn of our life. But on to the point of this video. Sometimes, for the most part, I do check comments periodically, not really much on YouTube. I'll sometimes check comments on a new video, but and I feel bad that I don't respond to very much, but I saw a couple with some recent uploads that caught my eye. I didn't write them down. I hope I can remember. The first was someone asked me about Siberia in the video Desert Night Camp, and the question was a very insightful question and revealing of someone who's been keeping an eye on my channel for a while. The person noted that in Japan I had kind of a maxim, a way of doing things that was, and I think I borrowed this from Henry David Thoreau, in saying that a true adventurer always returns by a different route, to keep up the adventure. And the person was kind of just surprised to see that I kept returning to Siberia week after week. I go to Siberia every other Friday. I get every other Friday off. So on the Thursday before, after work, I go straight from work out to the desert, and I usually hike the day and then head on out. And the question was, why do you keep going back to Siberia? Why, with so much desert and mountains and so much to explore here in California, why back to the same place? Very interesting, very good question. And I had to think about it. And then because it kind of surprised me as well. Why do I keep going back? Two reasons come up. First, Siberia is the desert's scary. It's big, it's intimidating. It's more intimidating than the mountains of Japan, even though it doesn't have the critters like the bears, the boars, and the bees, and the giant hornets. The desert's a relatively safe place, except for the heat and the cold. But it's scary out there. And with Siberia, I found a routine. You know, it's an easy place. It's far out there, but it's not so far that it's really difficult to get to. It takes about 2.5 hours. But it's I know the route, and it's not far off the road. I can get there. You can take Route 66, take a left at the Siberia little road, go about a quarter mile, and there you are. It's got kind of a reassuring element with the trains going by and the periodic the proximity to Route 66. It's in the last year or so that I've been going to Siberia. It's kind of, it's brought me to be comfortable with camping out there in the desert by myself again. Such to the point now, the first night I went there, it was in my daughter's car. Before it became her car, it was my car. And I didn't even get out of the car. I was really freaked out. I just stayed and said, lock the door. And then time after time I started going camping with the car and then make the camp before dark. And now it's just no problem. I can arrive day or night, whatever the heck. There's just no fear at all. It doesn't scare me. So there was that. I was kind of wading my way into the waters of Siberia. But now, this is the part I had to think about from the person's question. From your question. Hopefully you'll see this email, yours video. Now I realize there's something more to it. That Siberia really should be likened not so much as a destination, but as a base camp. Because I have intentions to, and I've reconnoitered and scoped out an area that I'm calling the Deepwater Wilderness, which begins at about a mile and a half north of Siberia, on the edge of the Bristol Mountains. A huge, massive, expansive, open, empty desert. There's not even airplanes flying overhead. Astonishing thing given the proximity to Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and 29 Palms, and the military bases. But there you go. I mean, you really can get out there. Once you go over the edge of deep water, you might as well be back 500 years. And periodic signs of humanity, but not much. But I can basically spend the rest of my life exploring that area. And I realize now that Siberia is my base camp. So, for example, tomorrow I'll head out to Siberia. I'll get there, set up camp, stay the night, or maybe not, or maybe just head out, park the bike, head straight out into the wilderness. And I can spend with my camping configuration 3 days and 2 nights out there with everything on my back, plenty of water. But you can only do that during the appropriate months, not the high heat of the summer. And I can spend the rest of my life now exploring that area that I found out there, that I know about, with Siberia as my base camp. So that's why I keep going back to Siberia. So another question was, someone asked about seeing Emily in the videos. And I know some people might be curious about Emily and others, but my wife. But I've really decided to withdraw my personal life from social media and YouTube. Not really sharing about any of that anywhere. Just my adventures, and that's about it. So probably won't be seeing any Emily. Probably won't be seeing any of my wife here or on social media, except for what they share on their own streams. There was another question. I can't quite remember what it was. Sorry. Happens of an old mind. So I guess that's it. I guess I'll wrap up. Time to head upstairs and get some dinner going. Hey, I've learned to cook since I've come back to America. I cook 3 or 4 times a week. Not very much, not very well, but it's a start. And we'll actually go upstairs, come back down, take a swim, do my laps, and get started. But it's a Thursday night, and as you can hear, the weekend is coming, the big weekend. There's all kinds of activity. People are starting to set up a couple parties over there. It's going to be a nice night. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Maybe I'll do this more often, just kind of Q&A time, answer some questions along the way. Take care.